Hello everyone and welcome back to Abrarix. In our previous video, we fixed the no services available issue by configuring DNS, where we created three records including SPF. But what exactly is SPF? And how does SPF and DKIM help protect our domain from email spoofing? In today's video, we'll quickly understand SPF and DKIM and then practically configure DKIM in our environment. Let's get started. Now let us understand what SPF is. SPF stands for Sender Policy Framework. It is a DNS TXT record that helps validate the sending mail server. In simple terms, SPF check whether the server sending the email is authorized to send email on behalf of your domain. As you can see on the screen, this is how the SPF record is configured in Microsoft 365. Let's quickly understand each part. First, v is equal to SPF1. This specifies the SPF version. Next, include spf.protection.outlook.com. This means we are authorizing Microsoft 365 mail servers to send emails for our domain. And finally, -all. This tells receiving mail servers to reject any other server that is not listed above. So in simple word, only Microsoft 365 is allowed to send email from this domain, and any unauthorized server will fail SPF validation. So that's how SPF works. But SPF only validates the source of the email. It does not verify whether the email content was modified during transit. And that is where DKIM comes into the picture. So DKIM stands for Domain Keys Identified Mail. In Microsoft 365, this process works like this. When an email is sent, Microsoft 365 signs the message using a private key. On the receiving side, the mail server retrieves the public key from DNS, which is published as a CNAME record by the domain owner. The receiving server then compares the signature. If everything matches, the message passes DKIM validation, which confirms that the email is authentic and that the content has not been modified during transit. Now that the concept of SPF and DKIM is clear, let us jump into the Microsoft 365 portal and see how we can configure DKIM step by step. Let us log into Microsoft 365 admin portal and also let us log into Defender portal. So the URL is security.microsoft.com. Here under email and collaborations, we'll go under policies and rule. We'll click on thread policies. Here we will select email authentications and settings, and then we'll click on DKIM. Here we can see our custom domain, and currently DKIM is not enabled. Microsoft 365 provides us with two CNAME records that we need to create on our DNS hosting provider side. Once we add these records, it may take some time for the DNS changes to propagate and sync. After the records are successfully detected, we'll be able to enable DKIM. Now that we have the required CNAME record from the Microsoft 365 Defender portal, let's move to our domain hosting provider to create them. I already have the domain provider portal open in another tab, and we are in the DNS section of the domain. From here, we'll click on Add New Record and start creating the CNAME records provided by Microsoft 365. Under Type, we'll select CNAME. We'll copy the hostname from the Defender portal and paste it in the name field. Then we'll copy the value provided by Microsoft 365 and paste it in the value field. For TTL, we'll keep it set to 1 hour. Now we'll click on Add New Record to add the second CNAME record as well. Let me quickly copy and paste the details. Once both records are added, click Save All Records and the DNS records will be added. So that's one way to create the DKIM DNS record manually. However, Microsoft 365 also offer another option through the Admin Center portal. Let's take a look at that as well. From the Microsoft 365 Admin portal, expand Settings and then go to Domains. Then select your custom domain. Under the DNS tab, click on Manage DNS. On the first page, we won't make any changes, so we'll simply click on Continue. On the Add DNS Record screen, we can see all the required DNS entries, including the SPF record. Now let us expand Advanced option, select DKIM. As you can see, these are the same two CNAME records we looked at earlier when I showed how they can be created manually. The Microsoft 365 Admin Center is simply displaying them again as part of the guided DNS setup. Now let us click on Add DNS Records. At this point, since the domain is hosted with GoDaddy, Microsoft provides an option to connect directly with the DNS provider. By clicking Connect, we can authorize Microsoft 365 to automatically create the required record for our domain. Records will be created in a couple of minutes and this process will be completed. Now we can click on View All Domain. It will take some time to reflect it. So let us go and see. Click on DNS record. It is currently not reflecting. We'll wait for a minute or two. Now we can see both the DKIM records are successfully created. So now we'll go to Defender portal and enable DKIM. So we'll just click on toggle button here. So currently it says that the entries are missing yet. So usually if we have created it, it might take some time to replicate. So we will pause the video here and connect after some time. So let us try to enable it again. And this time it is successfully enabled. Let's click OK. The next step is to validate whether SPF and DKIM are working as expected. For this, I will log in into portal.office.com. And then launch the Outlook app. In another tab, I will open mail-tester.com. This website provides us with a temporary email address where we can send a test email and it helps us evaluate whether SPF, DKIM and other authentication checks are properly configured for our domain. Now, I will send a test email from Outlook to this address. Once the email is received, we can go back to the site and then click on Check Your Score. As we can see here, SPF and DKIM are both validated successfully. Now let us expand the SPF section. Here we can see the SPF record that we configured earlier for our domain. Now let me expand the DKIM section. Here we can see the DKIM signature details, including the public key that is published in DNS and used for verification. Now let me expand the DMARC section. Under DMARC, we can see the authentication result where DKIM is showing as pass, which means the signature matches successfully and the email integrity is verified. So that's how we can configure and validate SPF and DKIM in Microsoft 365. I hope this helped you understand both the concept and the practical implementation. If you found this video helpful, don't forget to like the video and subscribe to the channel.